Uh, Hello, girls, and welcome.
Hello.
And welcome to our small studio. Hope you're enjoying rock cakes.
Thank you.
They're very nice.
Actually. Yeah.
I thought they were a bit dry because I didn't have enough butter or milk to put them. Well, we gathered here today. What I kind of want to discuss today with you is basically mental health. So everything kind of that we should know as young people and even adults as well, because I think that's such an important topic to kind of just discuss and see what you think. And of course, some of the things might be what people already know, but something they definitely don't know, and it's that you guys are starting mental health campaign at the University of Northampton. So if you can just, say something about yourself, and how did you come up with that idea?
Okay. So, do I need to say my name?
Should I wait for you to chew?
No, it's cool.
To finish it?
Do you want a quick introduction?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Chelsea Eade and I'm studying at Moulton College. I'm studying a foundation degree in applied animal studies.
I like how you had to think about that.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. And I'm in my second year.
Hey, I'm Rebecca and I'm in my third year studying English with Film and Screen Studies.
But you're also a women's officer,
I'm women's
right?
officer and a faculty rep. I don't have a life. I just sleep. That's why I'm like insanely tired right now.
When did you go to sleep last night?
4:30.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you knew that we have this
Yeah.
thing. So
I had
you
to do my work. I had to do my work.
Girls, so do you actually think that mental health should be something that people should be discussing about?
Yes.
Definitely, because at the moment there's so much stigma behind it, and people are ashamed to have like a mental illness. If people just start talking about it and treating it like any other normal illness, then people won't be ashamed to have it.
There's still kind of, even in schools, what I think, and parents just don't talk with their children about that. Do you think how can we prevent that? What can we do to make it a bit easier for people to open up?
It really needs to start at school, if I'm honest. You need to start as early as possible. So, just like a couple of minutes or an hour's talk session about mental health in schools would be a great start, because then it will give you the confidence to speak out, which will then help you in later life, like university and in employability as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Or just even on a smaller scale in like your family, just to
Exactly, yeah.
have a conversation when you're younger and go, look, if you're feeling low or something, just let me know, and it's okay to feel like that.
Just open up a bit.
With mental health, I do believe that if people start from scratch, like opening up what we said, it's going to be way easier.
Yeah.
So did you ever experience something like that?
What, mental health?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about what happened? Was it anxiety? Was it depression?
Go on, you go first.
Well, mine was depression. It started in school, and it kind of just progressed from there, and it even happened last year during university. It got to the point where it was kind of really severe. There was lots of kind of withdrawing from people, not socialising, self-harm, suicide attempts, but...
Did you have that?
What, last year?
Yes.
Or yes,
Yes.
I did.
Was it? Why do you think that happened in the first place? Why were you depressed?
Why was I depressed? There were quite a few factors to it, if I'm honest. I think the main one was the fact that there was actually hardly any support available, because mental health is a really difficult thing to talk about, and it's also quite a sensitive subject. So talking, it's got to be. It's important to talk to the right people. Otherwise, they're going to say something wrong, and they're going to make you feel even worse.
Yeah, for
Rebecca?
me, it's I have something called borderline personality disorder, which is like again, it's the disorder part I don't like to say, but it's like it's called a personality disorder, which means my mood swings are pretty severe. Like I can go from the thing is it's called borderline because you go from one end to
From
the
being
other,
very, very kind of happy,
happy
cheerful
to really like,
yes.
and it can literally last an hour, 2 hours, or it can last weeks. Like there's no time frame on the different moods. And I think for me it's because it took so long to diagnose that I was just being told, oh, you've got depression. Like
For how long was it
2
for?
years
2 years.
took them to diagnose it, and it was just going through secondary school and sixth form with it, and because I was struggling so badly, and my grades started to drop horrendously, and so then that was making me more like kind of down and anxious, and I just think it started to affect, because another like symptom of it is that you have quite unstable relationships with people, because you kind of like
Yes.
because of if they do something to you, you kind of like react a lot differently to what other people do, and it's a lot of people like, oh, what the hell, like it's really bad, and then you start getting really upset because you hate you hate abandonment. Like I hate like saying, oh, this is the symptoms, but this is what you have to be like diagnosed with to
Yes.
so you kind of get someone like me personally. I had a relationship, friendship, whatever you want to say, with someone and it was quite a horrible relationship for me mentally, and it was quite a nasty kind of situation to be in, and I was always made to feel like it was my fault.
Was it when you were already experiencing something like that, or throughout that relationship you kind of experienced that?
No, this was
in the first
this
place.
relationship thing was at university, and like I tried, like it wasn't very good. I was always made to feel like it was my fault, but actually it was kind of him that was like treating me really badly, and but I didn't want to leave, because every time I tried, I was like, oh my god, like it was horrendous, because I was like, well, I want that relationship, like I don't want to be abandoned. And it's really weird, like for someone that doesn't experience it, it's really hard to try and comprehend what it feels like. But even though it happened to me a lot in secondary school, it's more for university that's been quite challenging because of I hate saying mood swings, but like
Yes, I
my
understand,
housemates have had to deal with it, and it's been a little straining for them, because like I'd flip out at them for like the real stupidest reasons, or I'm just like, they won't see me for days because I'm feeling really low.
Yes.
And it's just kind of like, after having a conversation with them about it, it's a lot better now. But when it's just like, I always feel bad because they shouldn't be put through that, but I'm trying my best. Yeah.
So you said kind of you experienced that in secondary school and
Yeah.
sixth form, and do you feel like you had enough support then at that time? Did you kind of open up to your teachers
Oh, no.
when they probably kind of said, okay, Rebecca, your grades are going down, like what's happening?
Sixth form, no, was horrendous for me, because I was just told, you're doing badly, you're not going to pass, you're going to fail if you don't stop. And I
Well,
was
that
just
doesn't quite help.
No, and I got told that I should probably look into other options in university, which kind of really got me down, because I've always wanted to go to university. It's just like, I do it because I want to like get a degree, but I also do it because I want the experience of it. And it's like, well, I want a degree, but I want the experience. And then I always want to do like leadership roles and stuff, like volunteering. Like obviously I do a lot of it in the SU now, but back in sixth form, I kind of used to be like, oh, I want to do this, and they used to just kind of shut me down all the time. Like I ran for head girl, and they just looked like, during our interview, they just really didn't seem bothered. They're like, why is she doing it? Like when we have
it's
all
like
these
they're
other
making
people.
it even worse.
Yeah, and it's just like being shut down for so long, I think didn't help the situation at all. But then since coming to university, I think the support's been a lot better. Like just the people around as well have really helped. Like you get one or two that's a bit iffy, but most people are generally understanding. And it's just, well, they don't care. The university is really good. They don't care like about your mental health. It doesn't bother them that I have it because I can still do all this work. And they're just, to be honest, I don't make it, I am quite vocal about it, but I'm not that vocal to literally go, oh look, I've got this, I've got that. Like, I've, mental health awareness days, like campaigns that are on Facebook, I'll always post about it, but I'm not very vocal about it. But if I turn around to them and said, oh, I suffer like with a severe personality disorder, they'd be like, really?
Yes, people don't know how to react to that.
Yeah, but I think it's quite nice that the university is really good with mental health.
I don't know if you've heard, you probably did because it's the SU kind of campaign, Nightline.
Yes.
So they provide support. So I think it's once a week or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's it was every Friday night, but Kerry's now done it for every Thursday and Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like her goal for the year, and she's done it.
Who's Kerry?
Kerry Wheeler. She's the volunteer.
Okay, volunteer officer. Yes. Well, I mean, what do you think then shouldn't you say to someone who's experiencing a mental health problem? Because I do have some list here which we will go through.
So much.
And it's a bit fun, it's a bit silly what people are saying.
You definitely shouldn't say, oh, but you're always happy.
Or get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think for me what's worse is like, oh, but you're like always happy all the time. How could you suffer from a mental health illness?
Yeah, but that's interesting because yesterday I did some research before we obviously met up, and figures from the NHS actually say that 1 in 4 people in the UK will experience kind of mental health difficulties throughout their lifetime, which is crazy to me. It does sound a bit shocking.
But people, the thing is, people suffer from normal most people suffer from normal illnesses. Mental health is just an illness. It shouldn't
be treated differently.
It is because obviously, like the brain is an organ. It will get ill. Like that's what it does. Like But people kind of separate like illness and mental illness. It's like, well, no, they're all illnesses. They just might get treated. Well, they don't, and some of them don't get treated differently. So
some of them never get the opportunity to be treated.
Yeah.
I think it's because you can't actually see what's happening. Like with others, it's kind
of easy to hide.
Yes.
If you know, it's easy to hide.
Yeah.
Well, can we then talk a little bit about kind of unhappy topic, the mental health campaign that you're starting. Okay. I believe, Chelsea, you're kind of the founder of the mental health campaign, let's say, and you organized everything.
You're the one that's like, oh, I really want to do a mental health campaign for Mountain, and we so suddenly all got involved.
So now
it just happened.
It just so happened. So can you just go through some of the details? Tell me a bit about of course, we talked about why is mental health important and similar things, but how come that you came up with that idea of, okay, let's actually do something?
I think it was more of a team effort, if I'm honest. I don't think I can take all the credit for myself, but mental health is not taken seriously enough, and it needs to be, the awareness needs to be spread, both through students and staff. I think mainly a lot of students can relate to mental health, but staff might also be able to as well. But what I do notice is when you, when you're handing in an assignment and say you need an extension because of your depression, a lot of staff won't take it seriously, and that's a serious problem, especially if the mental health illness is really severe. So this campaign is being held to kind of give everyone hope, something to relate to, and just
put just your mic a bit closer.
just something to raise awareness, because the implications of it are so bad and it needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm. So the president of the SU is supporting as well.
Yes.
Shout out to Liam.
Shout out to Liam. How is then everything progressing? Do we already know the date, or
we have 3 dates set for the 3 campuses. Did you want me to specify what they were?
Yes.
Okay, Moulton College, the day is the 15th of March. Avenue Campus is the 16th of March. And Park Campus is the 17th of March.
So that's going to be then for 3 days, obviously. How come that you decided those days? Was it only kind of...
It was kind of like a set order. It makes sense. Considering there's 3 campuses, there should be like three
separate.
Mm-hmm. So it would start at Moulton, and then it will continue at Avenue, and then it will finish at Park.
But I think it's quite nice that Moulton is also getting involved because, like we talked about earlier, you explained to me kind of, I didn't even know that Moulton has kind of courses that are part of University of Northampton.
Yes.
And then I think that obviously it's going to be quite nice to those students as well to kind of feel like they're a part of the university.
It is. It's a nice thing for everybody to get involved and everybody to feel supported in something like this.
And Rebecca is going to be dressed up.
Yes. It's going to suit you so much.
I'm so excited.
Oh my God. Well, what would you then say? Let's just. How would you then approach to someone and say, okay, you can actually overcome mental health problem that you have? How did you overcome that? If you did, if you feel better now, would you say?
You first.
So how did I kind of overcome it? Like
yes. Obviously, you said.
I think I just got to a point that's like I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna actually have to try. Like I wanted to get better, and I feel like I have definitely. And it's like, well, I want to. Why am I letting this get me down all the time? Let's try and work with it and just be myself. Like, what's the point of kind of moping around? I know some people do, but because that's how it affects them. But for me personally, it was kind of just when I want to change, I need to get help. And I think coming to university helped that a lot. I kind of grew in confidence a lot as well. And then just like things happen and it's just like, it's not my fault at the end of the day. Like I can't always use it as an excuse, but I shouldn't be made to feel that bad about it and be made out that I'm horrible and all that because I can't help it as much. But
it seems like they're kind of different things. So there's self-esteem, confidence, and that's kind of, it's very hard to get to that stage when you're kind of, again, feeling great, like you want to actually see people, socialize. And do you actually feel kind of the pressure from the society saying, okay, like, come on, get your stuff together and just, hang out with us. You'll feel better and things like that.
Yeah, I guess. Like, sometimes your friends don't really understand and it's like, well, oh, come on, come out. And it's just like, oh, I really don't want to. Like, I just need some time to myself. And some people just don't get, they're like, oh, we're only, like, going down the pub or something. Like, why can't you come? Like, you're awake. And it's just like, oh, I just don't. And they're like, oh, are you ill? And you're just like, well, I'm not ill, but like I just want some time to recuperate and for myself. And I think a lot of people, like, for me, I tend to kind of, because I do so much, I kind of do all my stuff. I'll burn myself out and I'll need like a day to recover, like a full day where I'll just sleep. And some of my lectures are a bit iffy about it. They're like, oh, why did you miss your lecture? And it's like, well, I need some time to recuperate. Like, it's not like a regular thing. Like, okay, it might be once a month, like, or 3 weeks or something. But some of them are all right with it. But
Chelsea?
Sorry, do you want to continue?
No, go on.
I think what people don't realise is how difficult mental health can actually be.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
So they go out saying, come socialise with us. Oh, we're going for a few drinks. What they don't actually realise, it can be really difficult to even do the simplest tasks, like get out of bed,
shower,
have breakfast, shower, it's really difficult. And then for them to say, come out, we're just going to be hanging, come out with some of the mates, and you're kind of sitting there like, no, I don't really want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll think, they might think that you're being a bit antisocial, but you're not. You can't. You literally can't.
Do you think that you could then, at that stage, talk to your parents about that?
It's difficult.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't speak to my parents
No.
about my condition until about 5 years after I found out I had it.
For me, I still kind of really don't talk to my parents about it. It's kind of like, because I'm now away at university, it's kind of like...
Where are you originally from?
Cambridge. It's not too far, but it's just like I spend
It's
more
still-
time here.
yes.
Like I'm staying here after I finish my degree. Like I'm not going back home. But when I was struggling the most before the diagnosis, I used to self-harm a lot, and my parents used to see it, and it used to be like, oh, what's that on your arm? I was like, oh, it's nothing, it's the
Yeah,
cat.
it's just a scratch.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, I
Do you
think
think
they
they
knew,
believe- yeah.
but they didn't want to bring it up with me, but they were trying to wait for me to approach them, and I kind of wish I had, but of course it's quite a difficult topic for them to bring up with me.
I think it's also the fact that you kind of think, oh, I don't know if they'll be able to relate to this.
Yeah.
I'm doing all these things to myself. Are they going to be able to understand the point from where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. You mentioned, obviously, socializing can help. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily, but it can.
I think socialising does help if you're up for it. Like the fact that at uni I'm all really with my friends, like in the library or something, or doing stuff. I think it takes your mind off of it. Whereas if I was kind of in first year, especially, I spent a lot of time just by myself in halls. And it's kind of like when you're left alone to your own thoughts, sometimes it makes you feel worse. But if you're kind of like got plans to look forward to,
And obviously
Yeah.
you're very busy now.
Yes.
So do you think that also helps?
Oh,
As in
yes.
being busy with things you like.
Yes.
Just find some hobbies.
Takes your mind
something
off
that
things.
yes.
oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes, so that you're kind of not alone. Because I remember, obviously, I came from Croatia. So all my family, friends, everything that I knew, I just left. And I remember my first time coming to the UK. I've never been here before. I actually
Okay.
went to uni. And I was kind of, I always thought, like, I was talking to my friends who also went studied abroad and everything. But basically all of them were telling me kind of be prepared because it's gonna be rough few months while you're kind of adapting and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. Like, don't, like, why are you telling me that? Like, that's me. But I wasn't. It was just, it was crazy because you think that can happen to you. It's happening to someone else. And then obviously I realized the same thing that you said. If you occupy yourself
Yeah,
with
definitely.
things that you enjoy doing,
Yeah.
if you are busy, obviously not too busy like workload and stuff like that, you still have kind of uni,
Yeah.
which is your priority.
Definitely.
But it can help, and obviously meeting friends for just lunch or some drinks can help. But obviously, I think what people have to understand is obviously friends have crucial kind of role in making you feel better.
Yeah.
And if you're not surrounding yourself by friends that you actually enjoy spending time with, it's going to be very, very, very hard to overcome that, I would say.
Yeah.
So would you say then you have like close friend group now? Or it's still kind of in the making?
I think I wouldn't say I have a close friends group. Like my course friends are very close. Like I live with my course friends, but I'm like they're my friends. But sometimes I'm kind of not with them like fully. Like there was a lot. This is like affected me a lot before. They kind of used to do stuff by themselves. Like there used to be a group. But they're like, oh well, you can't come. It's our thing. Like I was like, well, I live here. Like, what can I do? Like sit upstairs. And that used to get me down quite a bit. But it has kind of changed a bit now. But it's still a bit like that. And it's just like, okay, so you're not like my main friend group. You're still my friends like individually, but you're not my main group. But this year especially, I've made so many new friends. Like I kind of put myself more out there because of it. Like Freshers Week, I went out with, you know, Gemma.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously you know Gemma.
Yes. Everyone knows
Gemma.
They were like, oh, come to Freshers with these people, like, because I didn't really do Freshers in my first or second year, because I didn't really have anyone to go with, and I'm just not really into that sort of thing. And they were like, so I literally went out the whole of Freshers with this group of people, and now like I
Were
see
you
them
sick
all the
after
time.
that?
Yeah, it was horrendous 2 weeks. But then also like I think like our counsellors, like we've suddenly gone, oh, let's just all meet up.
Yeah.
Like it's been really
It was
weird.
suddenly really professional, and then it just went from, okay, let's meet up, let's go to the pub.
Yeah, no, it was that pub thing, wasn't it? And then suddenly now we're having a Game of Thrones marathon tonight.
Yeah, we are.
And then we just invited like, we'll invite Jess as well. We'll just invite
everyone.
and then we get to get bitch about the issue. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
No.
I didn't say that.
I'm just gonna forget about that.
But yeah, nice. But I would say out of the people I'm closest with, it would be like you guys now. And I think the fact that we're all very similar and it is kind of a closer friendship group now, it helps a lot. Like if I need help with anything, I'll always go to you guys. And like I always hope as well, Bruna, like I can always come to you and stuff.
Of course, we can have these sessions whenever you want. Therapeutic.
Yeah.
Well, just kind of before we wrap everything up, there's still one rock cake that someone needs to eat. Because we're not leaving this studio before that happens.
Okay.
I'm joking. So then let's just pick, I don't know, what would you say, 3 kind of main things. If you're experiencing mental health problem, depression, anxiety right now, if you're listening to us, what advice can we give that we know for sure 100% that's going to help you?
I don't think 100% is the right way to go about it because it's like some things
99.
work for, some things work for others but other things don't. But I think just be open about it. If you're feeling really down and you don't want to go out, if people just ask, just go, well, yeah, I'm just feeling down, I want some time to myself. Or if you've got like a group presentation and you're really you suffer from anxiety, just say to your group like, look, I do suffer from anxiety, I just need a bit more support. And I think the more you're open about it, the more people will help you.
And understand.
Instead of like trying to hide it, and especially anxiety, because it's like, well, that I suffer from it, and then being forced to do it, and they're like, well, why are you not doing it as well as us? Like, then you'll feel worse. So being open about it means people can understand. I think feelings like not empathy, sympathy for you is the wrong way to say, but more they can help you and they can make amendments if needed, because like just to support you. That would be what I say.
I would actually fully agree with that. Being able to open up and talk to someone, as easy as it's for me to say, but difficult to do, it's really vital to be able to open up to someone, whether that be, you know, a friend, lecturer, and like your university should have a mental health team for you to go and talk to about this, and because it's their job.
They do have actually.
Yes.
Did you ever go to them or not?
I went to the wellbeing team at Moulton College, but I am aware that they have a mental health team at the university.
Will they as well be on the 15th at Moulton?
Yeah, they will be getting involved. Yes, everyone.
That's amazing. So can you just tell me? Okay, so 15th is Moulton.
15th is Moulton.
16th is Avenue, and then
17th is Park.
So that's going to be for the whole day. We don't know.
Details to follow.
Well, okay, then details are going to be later on.
Yes.
Published on our website.
Yeah, the sooner the days come, the sooner.
Yes.
You get more information.
And so what will be different with this mental health campaign than, you know, all the others? What would you say? Obviously, you mentioned you're going to have like T-shirts.
Yes, we have volunteer T-shirts for those volunteering. All kind of the same layout, all the same message on it. In regards to what makes it different to other universities, this was actually Rebecca's idea, using the stallion to make it personal to students. that's something
that's a
really
mascot.
important. Yes, the mascot. Yeah, the mascot. To make it personal to students, you know, just.
Can you
something-
describe Stallion, because I don't know whether our listeners are aware.
The Stallions is the SU, and it's more to do with sports. But Stallions is kind of the mascot
But
of the
what
university.
kind of animal is that?
It's a
It's a
horse.
Horse. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure because I thought Stallions was the SU thing, but then when I was reading the reports for council last night, David's setting up as brand for societies
Oh,
that's
okay.
similar to
Entertainment.
Stallions. And I was like, oh, I thought Stallions was like everything from sports society.
Yeah.
So I think Stallions is more sports,
Yes.
but Stallions is the recognisable brand.
So you then also mentioned when we talked last night, you mentioned that obviously people are going to be able to hug a stallion as well.
Yes.
And
yes. they
actually
can-
engage with our stallion.
Yes, that was
And I mean Rebecca.
People get to hug me. It's weird because I don't like hugs.
and obviously some cakes or sweets is always kind of
Yeah,
very,
food is always
very
a
welcome.
winner.
Yes. Well, I wish you good luck in
thank-
everything.
thank you very much.
Girls, and you're doing amazing things, and thank you so much.
Thank you.